1 year ago, a supermoon turned millions into werewolves. This December, it's happening again. Good evening and welcome back to Midnight Movie Club. Tonight we're going to be breaking down the first trailer for Werewolves. So, just a bit of background info on this film before we get into the trailer. Werewolves stars Frank Grillo as the lead, Wesley Marshall, alongside fellow Spartacus and Arrow castmate Katrina Law as Dr. Amy Chen, who seems to be one of those scientists looking into how to stop humans mutating into werewolves. Now, the basic premise of this film is The Purge, but with werewolves, which to me sounds like a bloody brilliant time. If you're a returning viewer, you'll know I love werewolf movies, Dog Soldiers being my favourite of all time, and the whole world running rampant with the snout-faced beasts. It's going to be epic, especially with this movie focusing on using practical effects. The two blokes responsible for bringing the werewolves to life in this film are Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff, founders of Amalgamated Dynamics, also known as ADI, who are probably most known for their work on Alien and Predator in the AVP films, as well as Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, which is solid. I don't like those films, but the practical effects in them were great, even if the Preds were a bit too thick. But these guys have really been around the block working on such things as Starship Troopers, Spider-Man, Godzilla, and most recently in the horror world with Smile. Anyway, on with the actual synopsis of the film. 1 year ago, a supermoon activated a latent gene in humans with anyone who was exposed to its moonlight. Billions died. Now, a year on, the world prepares as it is about to happen again, boarding up houses and preparing their defence, looking for ways to stay out of the moon and keep those who change locked outside. This year though, two scientists tried to stop the mutation of those who were touched by the supermoon a year before. Now, it's unclear if the people who turned the year prior are the only ones who can turn again, or if it's a free-for-all and anyone who's caught in the moonlight can turn. I'm guessing from certain things we've seen here and there that it's only certain people that turn with this gene. Maybe some have the gene that's activated, or maybe we all have the gene, but just some of us activate it when we step into that moon. And the reason I get this idea is from this behind the scenes photo where we see a cast member or a crewmate holding this sign that says 666, only evil people turn, repent now. So I would think that it's only people who were turned the year prior who can turn again, because if that wasn't the case then any character who went outside during this film would turn, and in the trailer we see exterior shots. Anyway, maybe looking at the trailer will help us piece together even more about this film, so let's get into it. The trailer kicks off with a poor girl who looks like she's getting ready to watch a film with her family. Sadly, when she calls for her mum, we hear deep gurgling growls, and when she backs away we get our first glimpse of the practical werewolf design, just slightly out of focus. Doesn't look like the movie night ends well for her. I'm guessing this werewolf in the back could maybe be of her dad, who was maybe outside in the garden and turned there, while her mum maybe just got hit by some moonlight through a window. And I'm guessing this is the year prior as well, since she doesn't seem like she's ever seen a werewolf before. I do have to mention here, the howl we hear near the start of this trailer is super weak. Just really sounds like a cheap stock noise, and I hope it's just a non-diegetic sound for the trailer's purpose and not a diegetic sound from the sound effects in the actual film. Because if that's what the howls sound like in this movie, man, that is some weak howling. In contrast though, the growls and guttural breathing we hear throughout the trailer sound really, really nice. I really like how this werewolf in the kitchen is standing too, this sort of hunched over look. It's really menacing and does look like it just went through some sort of very painful mutation. Next we get an exterior shot of a neighbourhood where I'm guessing the sun is starting to set and people are rushing to prepare, like we are used to seeing in the Purge movies. Here you can see people have barbed wire and electrical fences all around their property, doomsday preppers, probably having an absolute mad year. I can imagine Bunnings, B&Q, Costco and Home Depot are all having stellar weeks for sales. This is where we are introduced to Frank Grillo's character Wesley, and his nephew is asking him why he can't stay. As we hear their conversation, we see Wesley preparing the house for defence, throwing down a bear trap. We also hear Wesley say they need me to help them try and stop this. So Wesley could be some sort of scientist himself or hired muscle. As we see, Wesley has a fire marshal firefighter jacket hanging on his wall with what looks like a firefighter plaque that reads "Always Ready." Always ready, I believe, is a catchphrase that's also used by the US Coast Guard, maybe hinting at Wesley's past. I am guessing the way we see him handle guns in this trailer that he has military training of some sort of background or something similar, so that could answer that. We then see his sister Lucy telling him that they got this and they will be okay while he's away, which I highly doubt. I'm sure he'll need to venture back here to save them. Plus, we hear from Lucy that her and her son are the only family Wesley has left. So obviously if they did have a big family the year prior, they were absolutely decimated, either killed by the werewolves or turned themselves. We then meet their neighbour who is prepping hard and getting target practice in, Wolf Killer Cody, who seems hilarious. I already know I'm going to love this character. The red, white and blue claw mark face paint is just the best thing ever. Now I'm sure he's going to die a horrible death or be turned, but damn, what a guy. Isn't this what every true American would do in this situation? And we get some cool science lore for this world. They're testing if this mutation can be blocked, and they have a 9-hour window to do it. Now, by 9-hour window, I'm not really sure what they mean. I think they mean if successfully blocked, they can then have 9 hours before the moon just turns anyone again, and they're hoping to get this vaccine out before then. But the logistics of that are just crazy. And even if it does go to plan with a 9-hour head start, I just don't see how you're going to roll that out in time. So I'm really intrigued to see what they are trying to do specifically, and what their plan would be if it works. So we have our subjects in their cages in this big hangar of sorts, and they begin to retract the roof to test if they'll turn. And what seems like instantly in the trailer, we see the subjects' bodies begin to contort, bulge and burst with veins, expand and grow hair violently, and I love the way that this looks. It looks like it's shot with a really high frame rate to speed it up so it's jittery and violent looking. It just looks great. I always love a good werewolf change scene, and these transformations actually look decent. The sound design here too is fantastic. The bones crunching, it's very brutal. What's weird though is that it seems that as soon as these guys change, the facility has some sort of malfunction too. We see sparks flying out of machinery, and we even see one of the cages empty and on its side. So I'm wondering if this supermoon has some sort of effect on electronics, or someone's playing funny buggers. Then chaos ensues. We have people being dragged away into smoke, flying through windows, spraying bullets everywhere. It's just madness. Clearly, whatever they were doing didn't work, or it did and it was sabotaged. Then we get our first proper good look and reveal with the flashing yellow lights as these monstrosities, and I've got to say, I love the design. It slightly reminds me of Williams' design from Underworld Evolution, except their hair is kind of darker in this movie, and it has that slight dog soldiers vibe to it as well that I just absolutely love. The face just looks mean, and I love all the slime and blood dripping and the pronounced snouts. This design, honestly in my opinion, is really solid, and I like what we see later as well with the way they move as well. Then we see Wesley and the female scientist he is working with running away from this facility as he says they are coming for them, and as he says that, we see Wesley's house with his sister and nephew still inside come under siege by something falling on their electrical fence, carving a path inside. And I love this silhouette shot here of this werewolf, who I believe is probably old mate Cody. As we see Lucy defend the home, we see this werewolf again crawling towards them with dog tags hanging from its neck. Then we get the cheesiest part of the trailer right after this as Wesley fires up a turret and shouts, "Bite me." It's okay in a fun movie like this, but it's still a little bit cheesy. It's no Spoon shouting, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough, but I suppose we can't expect anything less cringe from the Yanks. Only kidding. What I love as we see them slide into this quarantine safe zone here is the world building being done with the posters that read "We can defeat this, Moon Quarantine and Family Tactical Training Course." It's little touches like that that immerse you in a world and can really elevate a B-movie fun film into something a little bit more, so I really appreciate the attention to detail. Then to round out the trailer, we get a nice action montage of some werewolf movement, which looks great. These practical suits are really being put to good work, and we get a cool shot of a girl in a store eating a cat who looks like she's slowly turning, like we can see her forehead's kind of sticking out a bit, and maybe she's out of the moon right now because she's inside. Maybe that slowed down her transformation. Either way, I'm just interested to see this scene here, because it's interesting when you see those people who are in that in-between stage between human and beast. I also love this shot of the guy being held above the werewolf's head while shooting. He's defo's done for. All in all, I really do think this looks fantastic. It just looks like a fun time, and maybe it can help make werewolves scary again, along with the Wolfman that is coming in January. Hopefully werewolves are on the come up again, and we, as werewolf movie fans, we bloody deserve it. I will see you all howling at the moon in December when I come out with my review for this one, but I will definitely see you all very soon again before that. It's good to be back. Thanks for watching, and good night.